New information is coming to light about a legendary lawman who spent most of his career in Oklahoma. Award-winning author Art Burton joins us this afternoon. Art, you are a leading expert on Bass Reeves and recently published a new edition of your book on Reeves called Black Gun, Silver Star. Art, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us today. Let's start here. How did you first learn about Bass Reeves and what interested you about him?
Well, I first found out about Bass when I was about 11 years old, and my grandparents lived in Arcadia, Oklahoma. And I asked my grandfather if there had been any black deputy U.S. Marshals in Oklahoma Territory. I had just finished watching a Wyatt Earp movie on television, and he and my grandmother mentioned Bass Reeves as being a noted black deputy U.S. Marshal, but they didn't know to what extent. They just knew he was famous and that he was from Muskogee.
Now, as we mentioned, you published a new edition of your biography on Reeves. Did you uncover any new information about him?
Yes, I did. I uncovered quite a few newspaper articles from around the United States, which before the articles were primarily from the Oklahoma, Arkansas, Texas area, but I found articles that were from the Midwest, from the East, and further west on Bass. And so I made that into a chapter called Bass Reeves and the National Media.
So what do you think it is about Bass that is just, it's gaining, it's about time, it's gaining a lot of national attention, a lot of momentum about his story. What is it about him that is so capturing?
I think there's two things. Number one, I think he was the greatest lawman during the frontier era in the United States. And on top of that, I think he was probably the greatest hero in America's frontier history. And it's, if you read the book and read, other information, I think it kind of gives you that information that this guy was totally unusual and really off the chart in terms of what he did for 32 years as a deputy U.S. Marshal.
Absolutely. Well, I was reading that, in that time, somebody working as a marshal did not have that long of a career. He worked, what was it, over 30 years? And the average marshal was only, in the service for maybe 5. So
only about 5. That's correct.
So your research is being used to inform television series and movies about Bass Reeves. Talk about a few of those projects that have been optioned.
Well, Morgan Freeman optioned my first book, Black Gun, Black, Red, and Deadly, Black and Indian Gunfighters of the Indian Territory, which the largest chapter in that book was on Reeves. And later on, Taylor Sheridan optioned my book, Black Gun, Silver Star, for the series on be on Paramount.
That's exciting. Do we have any sort of release date or where those projects stand at the moment?
No, I don't. I do know that Taylor Sheridan is supposed to film next month, and they have set up Fort Worth, Texas as the headquarters for the shoot for that miniseries.
That's exciting. Well, for any viewers at home that may not be familiar with Taylor Sheridan, he's the creator of Yellowstone and Tulsa King that was filmed here in Tulsa. So very exciting. Art, thank you so much for your time and your expertise.
You're welcome. My pleasure.